Throughout history, incredible structures have been uncovered that reveal how ancient civilizations once lived. But every so often, researchers come across something far more puzzling. Cities hidden deep underground, massive statues placed on remote mountain summits, and monuments so enormous that even today their construction raises serious questions. Some of these sites challenge what we think ancient societies were capable of. Others remain mysteries that historians and researchers still struggle to fully explain. These are 10 ancient structures archaeologists can't fully explain. High in the mountains of southeastern Turkey stands one of the most unusual ancient sites ever built. Mount Nemrut is crowned with enormous stone statues of gods and kings, some standing over 30 feet tall. The statues were constructed more than 2,000 years ago as part of the tomb sanctuary of King Antiochus I. But the mystery is how these massive stones were transported to such a remote mountain summit. Even today, reaching the site requires a long climb. How ancient builders managed to construct such a monumental complex at this altitude remains a subject of debate. Beneath the landscape of Cappadocia in Turkey lies an entire city hidden underground. Derinkuyu extends more than 200 feet below the surface and once housed thousands of people. The underground complex includes living quarters, storage rooms, ventilation shafts, wells, and even places of worship. What makes it remarkable is the sheer scale of excavation. Carving an entire multi-level city from solid rock would have required enormous effort and planning. Exactly how ancient builders created such a vast subterranean network remains one of archaeology's most fascinating mysteries. Deep in the jungles of Cambodia lies Prohm, one of the most visually striking temples of the ancient Khmer Empire. Unlike many nearby temples, Prohm was deliberately left largely unrestored. Today, massive tree roots grow directly through the stone walls and towers. The temple itself was constructed in the 12th century and once served as a monastery and university. But what continues to puzzle researchers is how such enormous structures were built and maintained in dense jungle terrain, and how the complex managed to survive centuries of abandonment beneath the forest canopy. In the Ethiopian highlands stands one of Africa's most mysterious archaeological sites. The Tiya Stelae are large carved stone pillars, many decorated with unusual symbols. Some of the carvings appear to depict swords and other geometric patterns. Archaeologists believe the site may have served as an ancient burial ground, but the civilization that created these monuments left very few clues behind. Even today, the meaning of many of the carvings remains unknown. In northern Ethiopia stand towering granite monuments known as the Axum obelisks. Some of these stone stelae rise more than 70 feet into the air and weigh hundreds of tons. They were carved from single blocks of stone and erected by the ancient kingdom of Axum nearly 2,000 years ago. What continues to intrigue researchers is the precision of their design and the engineering required to raise them. Transporting and erecting stones of this size would have been an enormous challenge for any ancient civilization. Before we continue, if you enjoy exploring ancient mysteries like these, make sure to subscribe, because the deeper archaeologists dig into the past, the more surprising discoveries they uncover. Overlooking the ruins of Palmyra in Syria stands a dramatic hilltop fortress known as Qal'at ibn Maan. From a distance, it appears almost fused with the mountain itself. The fortress was built to dominate the surrounding desert landscape and protect the ancient city below. But the steep terrain raises questions about how builders transported materials to such a high and isolated location. Constructing a fortress here would have required enormous effort and organization. Even today, its commanding position makes the achievement all the more impressive. Hidden in the remote valleys of western Tibet lie the ruins of Tsaparang. Once the capital of the ancient Guji kingdom, the city was built directly into steep clay cliffs. Fortresses, temples, and homes were carved into the mountainside in layers. At its peak, the city controlled important trade routes across the Himalayas. But its unusual design raises questions about how such a large settlement could be constructed on such fragile terrain. Today, the ruins still cling to the cliffs where an entire civilization once thrived. In southern Spain stand some of Europe's most impressive prehistoric burial monuments. Known as the Torcal Dolmens, these structures were built from massive stone slabs thousands of years ago. Some of the stones weigh several tons and were carefully arranged to create burial chambers. What remains uncertain is how prehistoric communities transported and positioned stones of this size, especially in an era long before advanced tools or machinery. Yet the dolmens still stand today, silent reminders of an ancient engineering feat. In central India lies the ancient complex of Udayagiri. Here, temples and shrines were carved directly into solid rock cliffs more than 1,500 years ago. The site contains elaborate sculptures and detailed carvings that remain remarkably well preserved. But carving entire sanctuaries into rock would have required immense skill and planning. Each chamber had to be carefully shaped without damaging the surrounding stone. Even today, the precision of these ancient rock-cut structures continues to impress archaeologists. Few ancient structures are as dramatic as the temples of Abu Simbel in Egypt. Carved directly into a mountainside during the reign of Pharaoh Ramses II, the temples feature colossal statues guarding the entrance. Each statue stands over 60 feet tall, but the mystery isn't just their size. It's how ancient builders managed to carve such massive monuments into solid rock with incredible precision. The temples were also aligned so that sunlight illuminates the inner sanctuary on specific days of the year, an achievement that still fascinates archaeologists today. Ancient history is full of incredible achievements, but structures like these remind us that many mysteries of the ancient world remain unsolved. And sometimes the most fascinating discoveries are the ones that challenge what we think we know about the past. Which of these ancient structures do you think is the most mysterious? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.